This is Don't Panic, episode number 383, recorded April 22nd, 2024. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast that doesn't really talk about technology anymore. I'm Sean Jennings, joined as always by a man who is learning the complex world of financial investing. It is Colby Rabidou. Hello, Colby. Good evening.
Hi, Sean. How are you?
Remember, Colby, the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there were a way to, do that more literally. Could I keep my money in myself?
Well, I need to figure out how to do, an equity withdrawal in myself. I've put a bunch of money into me. I have a college degree.
Right.
How do I get that money back? I want to withdraw.
You need a Sean equity line of credit.
Yes, there's too much money in me right now, to be honest. I need to withdraw it and invest it in, bonds or stocks or something. My value's gone down.
I'm kind of surprised that doesn't exist already. Why can't I? Well, I guess if you're borrowing against yourself, is the collateral, you have to be an indentured servant or something when...
I was about to say, we're getting into very illegal territory.
Yeah.
But sure.
Right. I guess civilization has tried all of these things before. None of it was good.
Yeah, I don't think you and I in the next 10 minutes are going to solve the complex issue of debt and how that affects our society, but I think we're going to have some fun tonight. So obviously Dan is not here. He is on his third week of traveling and being unavailable. My man gets around on his East Coast swing, but we've got the two of us tonight, Colby, and we're going to do something unique, something I just made up. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Tonight's theme... cheaper by the dozen. We're going to get through 12 topics in 1 hour. It's our rapid fire, because we don't have one good thing to talk about, so instead we're going to do 12 mediocre things. We're going to go back and forth and see if we can get through 12 topics in an hour.
I like it.
It's like those sports shows, on ESPN, where they all have their topics written down the side and they all have to talk really fast. So I think we can do it. I'm feeling good.
Do I need to prepare more topics? Because I have 2 topics.
Well, we'll see. This is the challenge. We got to see how it goes. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Well, you go first because I only have 2 topics.
Okay. All right, here we go. Now, mind you, these are totally random. Most of them have not been thought out, but they are topics of conversation. Topic number 1. Ding. I need a better bell. Topic number 1. Colby, baseball season is here. And we're starting up. You live right next to one of America's most famed ballpark. How has the season opening affected your life?
It hasn't been too bad. I think they were away this past week. They were at home for a while, and it was most surprising because opening day was at the game. It was a 1 p.m. game on a Tuesday or something. It was really not the day you expect there to be hordes of people in Red Sox t-shirts, but mostly it's been okay. There was some nighttime screaming the other day. I assume they must have won because there was nighttime screaming.
Nighttime screaming is a great, I don't know if it's a band name or there's something nice about nighttime screaming.
Yeah. No, it's nice sometimes. But yeah, it hasn't gotten too wild. I don't have a good concept of how the Red Sox are doing this year. I assume poorly because they haven't been awesome the last few years. But who knows? There's always
it's still
next
very
year.
early. They play a stupid number of games.
Right. Yeah, but otherwise, it's been okay. It's we walked by the stadium the other day. There was no game. They were out of town. But it's interesting. They have vendor. There's a street that during games is closed and there are vendors, but when there's no game, it's just a street. And it's fun to walk down the street and look at all the menus for $27 beers and $79 lobster rolls and stuff like that.
You don't often go down there and go bowling or any of the other fun gimmicky things they have down there?
Yeah, no, not super frequently. Um, Occasionally we'll go and get like a hot dog from the hot dog guy. You know, the hot dog cart that sets up outside. That's convenient, but
The
otherwise,
iconic Fenway Frank
right?
from our good
The,
folks at KM. If they would like to sponsor the show, I am a customer, and you could pay me in hot dogs, and we would absolutely promote them on the program.
yeah, honestly, hot dogs are Laura's favorite food, so we would also I would also accept payment in hot dogs on her behalf.
I am a huge hot dog guy. We got to have her on the show to talk about hot dogs. I think that would be. Does she have any? Okay, here we go. Topic number 2. Uh, does she have any unique hot dog recipe? Does she do it? Does she? She likes hot dogs, but does she do anything unusual or different with them?
No, the thing she likes about hot dogs is like it's just a hot dog. The thing she does like it that was, I think, my family introduced her to, or you know, just being here in New England introduced her to, is the like New England style hot dog rolls that are like the top cut hot dog rolls. Like those don't exist in other parts of the country apparently.
Hell yeah.
So she's a big fan of that. She will occasionally make hot dog rolls herself, naturally following the top cut strategy. But otherwise, she isn't a wild, no wild toppings like ketchup, maybe like mustard and relish. But I think she
no
liked
no
ketchup
no
on
wild
hot
meats.
dogs.
No unique.
No.
No elk sausage or anything like that.
Nope, no bonus meats. Just like your average beef frank or whatever. She likes a Fenway Frank.
You know what I bought the other day and absolutely loved because I am a glutton for punishment and a sucker for marketing. I was walking down the aisle of my local Big Y supermarket, and on the shelf was Guy Fieri's Flavortown Donkey Sauce, now available for you to buy and have in your own home. It's his famous donkey sauce. You can get it at his restaurants, but now it's available for home purchase.
Wow. What's it made out of?
Well, that's what I was going to look up. It's Worcestershire mustard, mayonnaise, garlic, pepper. So it's a little it's white. It's like a white aioli type sauce, maybe a little creamier with some garlic in there. I got to tell you, I put it on a burger. I also put it on a hot dog. It is a one-way ticket to Flavortown. It is very very good. I would recommend.
Nice. Cool. Maybe I'll pick up some donkey sauce then.
A quality product from our good friend Guy Fieri. All right, there's 2 topics down, Colby. What do you got for us?
Heck yeah. One is a follow-up on something we talked about a while ago. I was catching up on my RSS feed recently, this weekend, I guess. And Shaun, you'll recall a little while back we did an episode on a blog that a person in Antarctica was publishing, and I was catching up on the blog, and it turns out this person's tour in Antarctica has come to a close. So they have returned to the United States, and they are no longer posting pictures of frozen stuff, which is sad. But it was really cool while it lasted. The blog's still there, so
I'm honestly relieved. Because if you had been like, yeah, he's still there, he's going to be there for the rest of his life, like it's a punishment or something. Like, I'm glad he got out alive.
Yeah. The last couple, there was one, like the most recent post was just about like flying back, traveling back. But there was one post that was about like the station reopening after the cold winter and like them getting the first like fruit they had in 4 months, and waiting for the plane to come. So obviously it's very weather dependent when the plane can come, so you don't exactly know when it's going to happen. It's just it'll happen when it happens kind of thing.
Oh my god.
But the last few were pretty interesting, but I mean, they were okay. The end of things, but it's
Listen,
worth
whatever you got to
finishing.
do for content.
Yeah.
Excellent update. Colby, we're almost in May. And you know what May means.
Our birthdays.
That's actually exactly what I was going to say. Colby, I don't know that we've talked about birthdays on the show. Are you excited for your birthday coming up? Do you have any plans? Are you asking for any particular gifts? Obviously, I'm just going to pepper a bunch of this in. Today at my office, we celebrated an individual's birthday, brought in some pizza for a very lovely coworker. But you work remotely. What do your coworkers do on your birthday? Tell me all about this.
That's a good question. I think once in a while you get like a Slack message from one of the bosses that's like, it's Colby's birthday. But usually not. I don't think so. I don't think. And then we do have like a part-time office that we go to sometimes, but I think my birthday is on a Monday. So I don't think I'll be there. I feel like I'm gonna take the day off anyways. What happens on my birthday? I have not asked for any presents because I don't have any.
You're
ideas.
an adult and nobody
Right,
gets you presents?
Except for just like huge stacks of cash sounds fine. Like the bigger the better.
Bank checks, something.
Right. Cashier's checks. Money orders, those are fine.
Bearer bonds.
I'll take a personal check.
Bitcoin,
I'll live
untraceable
dangerously.
cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, ETH. That sounds good. Lottery tickets are fine. That's actually a great idea. Maybe I'll ask for a lottery ticket. I don't. I feel like my birthday is too close to my mom's birthday, and I like expend too much energy thinking about what to get her for her birthday. And so when that's over, it's like, phew, I'm good. I don't have to think about this at all. And then a week later, everyone's like, "What do you want for your birthday?" Nothing. So yeah, I had TBD. Shaun, do you have any suggestions?
No, because I don't have any plans for my birthday. I don't even like birthdays. I agree with you. Birthdays are like about everybody except the person whose birthday it is. Like I feel like it's more work than it is enjoyable. So no, I don't really do my birthday.
Yes. That's actually like a thing, thought technology I've been working on with respect to birthdays is that I think it's possible that yeah, I definitely I would love to see friends or something on my birthday, or go to a restaurant, or, go see my parents or whatever. But I think the best birthday present would be to not be responsible for any of the logistics of that. Like, I don't want to be asked where we're going to dinner, or who is invited, or be responsible for inviting anyone. I think that would be the best case scenario. That those things just happen to me.
Well, this is a great pivot. I'm going to consider this a different topic because we got to get through 12 of these. Number 5, surprise parties. How do you feel about surprise? Because you kind of basically described a surprise party.
That's a good question. I don't think I've ever had a surprise party. Like I've had birthday parties, but I knew that they were happening. I think, like, all things being equal, I would like to know that it's coming. Like, I don't need it to be a surprise. I just don't want any of the decision burden to be placed on me.
Yeah, I have told people many times before in my life that if they ever planned a surprise party for me, I would kill them. They would not be alive anymore because I don't want that, and that sounds incredibly stressful and whatever the opposite of fun is. In fact, I don't know if I've ever told you this. In one of the most Shaun stories ever, I many years ago in my high school days got wind a surprise party was being planned for me. I confronted the people and told them not to do that. And then I just never got a birthday party because I ruined all the fun. So, because I did not want a surprise party. I mean, I guess I knew about it. It wasn't a surprise. But I want to give input. You know what I mean? Like, I agree with you on some hand. I don't want to do the logistics, but on the other hand, I want like things run by me. Like I want to okay the concept, you know?
Sure. You need a clone of Shaun whose birthday is like a day later who can do your party for you.
Well, you know what it is? Are you familiar with like floating holidays in a business where it's like you can take your vacation day on the holiday or take it some other time? I feel like birthdays should be like that. Like if I want my birthday to be like mid-July, like I can just take my birthday that day.
Shaun, hey, I mean, I'll ask you this question: like, why not? I would go to your birthday in mid-July.
I mean, I think this because the problem is your birthday is a fixed date. Like, what happens when it's on a Tuesday? Like, it can be inconvenient.
Right. Well, it's like my birthday this year is on a Monday. Nobody wants to go to a birthday celebration on a Monday.
No. So Colby gets to pick his birthday.
I think this is great.
We're
Shaun,
so smart.
Maybe this is a topic in and of itself, but are we wearing the exact same shirt?
Okay, topic number 6. Shirts. Well, what shirt are you wearing?
I'm wearing, it's just a t-shirt. I think it's from Uniqlo, but okay.
And by the way, I'd like to point out the lifestyle differences. You remember, Colby is an urban, city-dwelling man of the Uniqlo shirt. I am wearing Target long sleeve, like the common man. So just putting that out there. This is whatever Target's men's brand is. But the question is, are you wearing pants?
You'll never know.
Oh, see, he's not gonna. I was gonna say, are we wearing the same pants?
No, I'm wearing.
If I know
jeans.
Colby, he's wearing bright red basketball shorts.
No, those basketball shorts died, unfortunately. They at some point I thought all the elastic had gone out of them, but it turned out like there was still some left. And when all of the elastic finally went out of them, they really no longer functioned. I guess I could have added like a belt, like a sash.
That would have been if you had worn a formal leather belt with your athletic shorts. Would have been. I think fashion would have literally died. Like it would have just gone out of business.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was doing some laundry here at the house the other day, and I was looking at one of my mother's shirts. She had a green T-shirt, and on it said Marist College Welcome Week, and it was the green shirts we got our very first week at Marist. All the freshmen got green shirts, and I'm like, you still have this?
Wow.
I donated it to her when it stopped fitting me, and believe it or not, she still has it. I said, oh my God, you never throw away anything.
That's awesome. I don't remember that shirt at all.
No, she'll occasionally pull one. She's got shirts from when we were in high school. I'm like, oh my God, this is... Credit to you for staying the same size, unlike me, who has gone through many permutations of shirts. Colby, pivot to topic number 7. It is almost May, which doesn't just mean our birthdays. It also means spring is here. And as a garden owner, are you excited to... Have you started? When do you start? And anything new you're planning this year in your little garden plot?
These are good questions. We've started with some cleanup. There are some things that are growing that are either perennial or we planted last year. Like Laura planted some tulips. There are a couple tulips which every time one blooms, the rabbits promptly eat it, which means that we have a hole in our fence somewhere that we have to fix. So that's on the list. So one thing I am excited about this year, we have so in our garden, we have 2 things that were there before us. They just were there. We have a few hydrangea bushes, and we have a wisteria plant. And both of those things are kind of like plants where if you sort of prune them at the wrong time or the wrong way, they won't have flowers. And last year, I had finally figured out what to do and what not to do. And in March or something, we had like last year we had a like it was really warm for 2 weeks and then it got super cold again, and that really messed with all of the sort of like perennial flowering plants, and so no flowers happened even though I hadn't messed it up myself. And this year that didn't happen, so I'm pretty sure that both of those plants are going to have flowers, which I'm excited about.
Nice.
Yeah. Otherwise, though, we're not. Laura, I think, decided not to go hard on like vegetables. We're gonna try and do like stuff that you don't have to do anything to. Because the thing that inevitably happens every year is that, you know, April, May, June, you're all like gung ho and like it's exciting and it's like, you know, it was cold and now it's warm, so it's nice to be outside. And so like, you know, taking care of tomato plants is no big deal. But then like July, August comes around and there's like stuff to do and like you're, you know, leaving town and like people have to water your plants and like, you know, you just don't want to go outside because it's like 97 degrees and it just becomes annoying. So we're going to try a totally different direction this year and do stuff that you don't really have to take care of. Yeah. But yeah, that's the plan. Yeah. What about
Smart.
you? Do you have any outside plans?
Oh, I do. I have my landscaper coming in. We talked about this before we got on the air. I got a landscaper coming in. He's going to tear up my front and put down a bunch of different some. It's all stone, and that's going to be some bushes and some flowers and stuff that I think is going to be really nice. I will say I did something different this year over the winter. I've got now 3. My mother likes rose bushes. I've got 3 of them out in my backyard right now. And historically, we just cut them way down, which you shouldn't really do, and not really do anything for over the winter. So this year we got these like fabric tents, almost, that go over the entirety of the plant, and you stake them down for the winter. And the idea is, A, it keeps snow from falling on it, but B, it also, moisture can get through it and some amount of sunlight.
Right.
And the first time we had done it, and I'm telling you, we took these things off like a month ago. The plants had never looked better. They looked fantastic. I was blown away. And they weren't even that expensive. And they lasted the whole winter, no issues. They didn't blow away or collapse or anything. You take them off, the plants are looking great. So I'm optimistic. I used bush fertilizer for the first time this year. So I'm giving it my honest to goodness shot
Nice.
to try and keep them looking good. So we'll see. Now, if I can only get the dog to stop peeing on them, because he will pee just on the plants and not on all the grass I have. So
Charming.
he is trouble.
That's funny. Well, that's great. Congratulations on your rose tents.
We'll have to keep each other abreast of the summer. Colby needs to use his Instagram account more. I volunteer. He puts flower pictures on there.
Sure.
And you know, Colby, one other thing. I was reading the other day, I don't know if it's one of the smart camera companies. I don't know if it's Arlo or Eufy. It's one of these brands. They now make a totally contained camera that is solar powered and has 5G in it. So you can essentially put the camera literally anywhere.
Hell yes.
And I think we need like a 24-hour live stream of your garden plot. Keep an eye on it overnight, during the day, catch the wildlife in action. I think that could be neat. I would subscribe to that's Patreon content right there.
Yeah. That's a super interesting idea. I would like a link to this thing. Maybe this is what I should ask for my birthday.
Hey! No, I like that.
But so one of the challenges with the garden is that it is like, there's no like, we have a gate with a lock on our garden, but there's no like, it's a public park. So like anyone can roll through and like weird stuff happens at night. Like who knows what happens at night. So I definitely like, we would have to do some like creative camouflaging of this camera in all likelihood, to avoid attracting attention. But
Yeah, no, this I just put it on the screenshot. Why does it look so small? All right, let me try this again. I'm using the Mac app for the first time to screenshot. There you go. That looks better.
Nice.
Yeah, no, this thing looks aggressively like a security camera.
Right.
This will be hard, but yeah, it's got 4G, 4K, color, night and day, 360 viewing.
Wow.
Look at this thing. This is wild. From our good friends at Eufy.
Maybe the move is to put it like on the ground, like so you're really just observing the rodents and not. Actually, I'm pretty interested in that too because we've had like. Well, we definitely have rabbits. I mean, there are rabbits all over the garden, but we also have like. There's something that will, like when we'd have tomatoes, like anytime you plant something, there's something that like sees that you did something and it will go like dig a bunch of holes wherever you did anything. And I don't know, we don't know what it is that does that. It's like, I don't think rabbits really dig holes like that. And then like, we kind of thought it was like voles at some point, but like those do a bunch of tunneling and like there were no tunnels, it would just dig holes. And so like our working theory is it's like rats, which is another like very common denizen of the garden. But we really just don't know, and I would love to know the answer to that question.
This is the opportunity for me to reshare here on the screen. When I had a security camera down on the ground a couple of years ago, and the quality is not great, but I caught this squirrel literally burying a nut right behind.
Wow.
This was my Wise Outdoor cam at the time. But literally, like, this is the kind of content, except it would be in 4K and not, like it was taken on a flip phone. But,
I mean, I'm pretty intrigued.
So, there you go. For your birthday, man. Ask the birthday fairy. Just might get it. All right, Colby. Topic number 8. We're chugging along here. We only got to do a couple more. I don't know why I thought of this, but I thought it could be something we could talk about. This Thursday... oh, look at that. My dad is watching the show on Facebook. He says we're saving him money. I don't know which topic we saved him money on, but glad we could help. Much appreciated, Father. This Thursday, I have to go through first aid recertification training. Colby, are you first aid certified?
No.
Yes, it does expire. Like, I guess I forget after a while.
Wow. No, I'm useless in an emergency. Why do you have to have that for work? Is that a factory thing?
No, so the company likes to have a certain number of people in each area first aid certified, and they look for volunteers. And so a couple years ago, I volunteered for my area I'm in, and then it's not every year, I think it's like every 2 years, they bring someone in, and we go in the conference room for 5 hours, and we go through first aid and CPR and all that kind of stuff, and then I get a little piece of paper that says I'm certified.
Nice.
So
do you get to do CPR on the dummy thing, like the half
yes,
person?
they do bring in the dummies, and you do get to push really hard on the chest, but they don't do the mouth-to-mouth anymore. That they don't advise you do that. So it is simply the chest compressions. The other big thing that actually I learned a lot about when I've done it in the past is the automatic defibrillator. That basically every place has now, but very few people actually know how to use. It turns out they're incredibly simple and very high tech. You basically can't fuck it up.
Nice.
But that's one of the things I spend a lot of time training you on how to put them on. But the neat thing about them is they're all electronic, and they can actually tell, like, if you put the patches on the wrong spot on the chest, or like it'll test to see if it's safe for you to shock them. And then they even have some that have you put them on before doing CPR, and it'll actually sense if you're doing the CPR hard enough or deep enough. Like it's all like automated. It talks to you. It's crazy.
Wow.
Stand
That's
back.
cool.
Performing shock. No
Wow.
pulse. Yeah, it's incredible. So if you're ever in an emergency, this is a great tip for everyone out there. If you are in an emergency and the person is non-responsive, don't leave the scene, but do have somebody run and find a nearby automatic defibrillator. You may not need it, but if you wait until you think you need it, it won't be there in time. And the good thing with those things is you can put them on a person, and if they don't need it, the machine will not shock them. So you're not going to kill them by using one. They're smart enough to know.
That's very cool. Very cool.
Anyway, I'm counting that as a topic. But what I did want to do is I did a little research, Colby. First aid common mistakes. So I found some of these. These are some common sort of mistakes people make or assumptions they make, and figured we could share and maybe learn something about how to be safe, including, have you ever heard this before, Colby? When you have a nosebleed, tilt your head backwards to stop the bleeding.
Definitely.
Don't do that. That's actually the wrong thing to do. Blood can drip into your throat, and you could choke or swallow blood. Putting your head between your legs.
Definitely happened to me. Tilting my head back. I mean, I didn't choke, but like.
No, I think we all do it, right? That's kind of, but believe it or not, you're actually supposed to lower your head. Or no, I'm sorry, you're not supposed to do that. Actually, don't do that. I was wrong. Don't lift it or drop it. Just the best way to do is apply constant pressure for 20 minutes.
Okay. That's boring. I prefer when there's a weird trick to solving the problem.
How about this? Treating a burn with ice or butter.
Butter?
Yes, this was an old-timey sort of fix. Apparently people have done it with mustard, they've said to do it with.
That sounds like it would hurt.
Again, they used to, like, drink cocaine, so I don't...
Oh, yeah. True.
No, you're not supposed to put ice on it. It'll actually cause more pain and make it worse. Same with the butter. It can attract bacteria. You want to run it under cool water or wrap it with a cool towel or gauze.
Cool water is what I always do.
Then good. Then you're doing the right thing. You're smarter than the average person.
Wow.
Let's see here. Leaving an adhesive bandage on a cut. You actually should not leave a Band-Aid on a cut for several days. It doesn't speed the healing. Instead, it increases unwanted moisture over the cut. You should just clean it, apply ointment, but let it heal in the fresh air. If you do need a bandage, change it about twice a day.
Oh, good to know. I feel like that's another thing that I have experienced, like, anecdotally. It's like, if you leave a Band-Aid on too long, like, the thing will never, ever heal. It just stays, like, kind of wet. That's great to have it confirmed.
Yeah, you were surrounded by a lot of smart people. Inserting an object into the mouth of an epileptic person during a crisis. Have you ever seen this? They might swallow their tongue. You should put something in their mouth. Have you heard this?
I feel like, I think the thing I remember from television is, like, they always put people on their sides.
That's again, Colby. Were you just watching like educational programming or something? You know all the right things. You're basically by the end of this episode first aid certified. No, don't put things in their mouth. Instead, just turn them on their sides and cushion their head with something soft.
Wow.
Let me see if I can give you one more here. If someone is involved in a car accident, you should move their body.
I think that's false because, like, they could have, like, a spine injury or something. And
this is... Am I sharing my screen? Is that how you're seeing all this? My goodness, you're crushing it. You basically work in an emergency room now. Yes, don't move the body. There could be a spinal injury or internal injuries. Simply call 911 and leave the extraction of the victims to the specialized personnel. Just make sure the scene is generally safe and that they're breathing. And last one, using ipecac syrup to cause vomiting in the event you have been poisoned. Have you heard this one before?
I mean, I'm aware of, like, ipecac serum as a thing that makes you puke. But I've never, like, seen it in real life. I've only, like, heard it referenced in, like, on TV.
Yeah, apparently they don't even really sell it anymore. It's like an old-timey thing. No, don't do that. Just call poison control, and they'll tell you what to do.
Nice.
The stomach purging caused by Ipecac is far less effective at lowering total body poison concentration than something like oral activated charcoal.
Activated charcoal. Does it like sit in your stomach and like filter your blood or something? How does that even work?
Let's see. Activated charcoal is used to treat many types of oral poisonings. Oh, it doesn't say how it actually works. Oh, mechanism of action. Binding of the poison to prevent stomach and intestinal absorption. It basically absorbs it in your stomach.
Wow. That's smart.
And there you go, Colby. Some hot medical advice for you on the program.
Wow. Cool. I learned so much today. I'm pleased to know that many of the things that I thought about what a person should do when they're injured were not false.
Well,
Go ahead.
No, didn't we famously have a discussion in college, like in the event of an emergency, who would be the first person you'd call, and we all agreed it would be you? I seem to distinctly, I don't know how, we were bored one night, and the idea, like, if you were, like, in a foreign prison and needed help, or there was an emergency, who would you call? We all voted Colby, so I guess we were right.
Oh, that's great. I don't know if I would be able to help with a foreign prison, but, you know, I guess if you got in a car accident, I wouldn't do the wrong thing. You know?
What a great slogan. Cole Rabidou, he wouldn't do the wrong thing.
Right. He's not making it worse. So.
You gotta use that at work. I'm here to not make things worse.
That is it's a service I provide.
What a rocking endorsement. Did you have another topic you wanted to get to, Colby?
Well, so my other topic was we've spent so long talking about air travel. I finally flew on a plane for the first time since we started talking about air travel. And I did... Let's see, what did I do differently? I haven't gotten pre-check or anything, but I thought really hard about getting pre-check, and then I chose not to. Well, the thing I did the last time that I don't normally do is I got... You know, on Delta, they, like, give you the headphones that you need to listen to the screen. And I, like, got headphones and watched a movie on a plane. I haven't watched a movie on a plane in, I don't know, like 10 years. But it was kind of fun. It was, like... We were just going to Minnesota, so it was, like, about a 3 hours and 15 minutes flight or something. And so I picked a like, longish movie. It was like
which movie?
Plane ride. Tenet.
Oh, sure, Christopher Nolan's Tenet.
Yeah. Which I enjoyed. I thought it was it was kind of weird, but like it was good. And it aligned perfectly with our flight. It was like finishing up as they were like announcing, like, please put your seat backs and tray tables into the upright position.
That is actually a really smart idea some airline should do, is like, here's recommended movies that are like exactly the length of your flight.
That's it, right. If you start now, it'll be done in by the time you get there.
I bet you'd float up some really interesting choices doing it that way.
Well, it'd be interesting if you were going to, like, Australia or something. It's like all of the Lord of the Rings movies. Or...
yeah, exactly. 3 seasons of Grey's Anatomy will get you there.
Right. It's like you need a playlist. Like, they need to give you a playlist. And the playlist should change. You know, if you don't watch a movie for the first hour of the flight, right, you should still get a new playlist that is like,
live updating as the flight goes on.
Exactly.
I love it, man. You got to patent this idea. Sell it to the airlines. That's a winner.
Yeah, otherwise that was all. They moved the fucking Uber pickup in Boston and, like, didn't tell us. So we, like, went to the normal Uber pickup and there was nothing there. It was very confusing. Just when you think you got it figured out, they, like, change the rules, you know?
Have you been in the new terminal? I think that's only international, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't flown anywhere that isn't Minnesota in a while, so not for me.
All right. Topic number 11, Colby. I was going to update you. This was like 3 weeks ago. Matt and I tried to go live on Twitch for Up for Debate.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a huge fucking disaster. It's such a disaster. I've been delaying publishing the episode, but if you happen to catch it, if you were the only person, meaning Dan, who actually watched it live, everything broke and went horribly wrong. Because Matt picked a game that is only available on Windows, I had to emulate Windows in parallel, which just sucked up every bit of power my computer had. Then I was like, well, if we're going to Twitch stream, I got to really do it like the real guys do. So I installed all the software, we get sound alerts and pop-ups and chat and all the stuff the real streamers do. And of course, it all was crashing constantly. The video is literally, the audio came out good, but the video, we freeze every 2 seconds. The frame rate is insane.
Wow.
And nobody did. So overall, that's why we're on Riverside tonight. Because it turns out that's a lot easier than having to do it all myself. That's basically the whole story. Do you watch a lot of Twitch, Colby?
No, zero Twitch.
Zero.
Twitchless. Yep, no Twitch. I watch very little YouTube. I feel like I've been going through a period where I knew this would happen to me if I ever let it happen to me, but the Instagram, the Reels got me.
Ooh.
And I knew that this would be a problem for me because I remember do you remember when there used to be, back on Facebook before Instagram had videos, there used to be those, it was called Tasty or something, and they would do a 30-second recipe of something that was,
I remember you were big into those.
Yeah, it was, it was always something disgusting. You never made any of them. It was just fun to watch. But I could spend way too long watching those. And so when TikTok came out and the Instagram Reel shit, I was like, I'm going to avoid this. But the problem, the thing that got me is we've been planning this house and we, have to think about all these things kitchen designs and bathroom fixtures and all that stupid crap. And so it's just so Laura started looking at them on Instagram and, would send them to me on Instagram and I would look and then, one thing led to another, and before you know it, you're 730-second kitchen tours into a very long Instagram session. It's very annoying. So I don't remember why we got started talking about this, but I deleted the other day. I deleted the Instagram app off of my phone, and I'm website only now because the video on the website is terrible. So it's great.
Yeah, I am proudly not on TikTok, but boy am I on Instagram Reels. And it's I feel like I swipe up on significantly more than I actually watch. But gosh, I do enjoy it. I do like just being spoon-fed nonstop content. There's just something about the idea it never stops.
The thing, yeah, I really don't like that. I feel like by the time I'm oh my god, I need to stop, it's way too late. It's I feel I'm the thing that prompts me to be oh my god, I need to stop is that I'm angry, fully angry at how much time I spent doing this, and my arms have fallen asleep from whatever position I was sitting in, and my body hurts, and I forgot what I was doing, and it's very irritating. I hate that works on me.
I'm going to send you in Slack once we hang up here a link to a YouTube channel that I want you to watch. You're going to love this. I've become fascinated with it, and it's a channel called That Recipe. And what they do, I think what they do, is the recipes are written in Portuguese, then translated into English, where someone in the U.S., I think, actually makes the videos, but it's read with one of those AI voices. And some of the recipes they make are like a computer guessing how a recipe would be made. And you watch it and you're like, every time they like add something or like go to the next step, you're like, wait, what? Huh? Come again? What was that? And they all have these. I'm looking at the channel right now. They did. I'm just mix bologna with Coca-Cola. The result will surprise you. And they're just like, I don't think they're meaning to be weird on purpose. It's just odd. So I will send you a link, and you might get a chuckle out of this channel because I do. Some of them are very funny.
I'll check it out.
Add Mentos to Fanta, and you will be surprised by the result of this popcorn. Anyway. Let's see, Colby. That's if we count reels, that's 12 topics. We did it.
Crushed it.
I knew we could do it.
Honestly, that was, look at the time. It is 9:59. We absolutely stuck the landing. 10 out of 10.
A perfect game, if you will. Before we go, it all comes back around. Before we go, I do want to quickly tease a couple of things. One is, I'm going to make a pick because I was thinking about it. We don't do picks as much anymore, but of course, finding it in my Amazon history is going to be borderline impossible. But I was thinking about this the other day. It's just something I bought that I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome, and I really love it, and I want to tell people about how great it is. And it is a computer bag. It's become my God, I order a lot of shit on Amazon. Holy crap. And it's become my go-to bag. I travel with it. I go to work every day with it. But I wanted something super duper. By the way, this is the opposite of fancy. This is a cheap bag. But I wanted something very specific. I wanted it to be able to either be a briefcase style bag with a short handle or a backpack. And it's really hard to get a bag that does both. And so I'm going to put it in Slack here. So you can see it's the Solo New York Dwayne Hybrid Briefcase. But what I love about it is most of the time when I go to work, I just use the briefcase handles because I don't need a backpack for walking to my car from the office. But what's great is it has backpack straps that are hidden in it, that you can actually zip up inside of it so you don't see them. So when I go to like the airport or something, I can pull out one strap or I can pull out both straps and it becomes a backpack. It's not a great backpack. I wouldn't use it as a backpack every day. But if you want the flexibility to do a briefcase style handle or a backpack strap, this thing is fantastic. And like I said, I've traveled all over with it. And it's been great. So the Solo New York Dwayne Hybrid Briefcase is my pick. The link will be on the website.
That looks cool. I've been thinking about a new backpack recently. Or a new bag to get to work. The problem I have is that I walk to work.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, like ergonomically, backpacks are great for walking to work because your stuff is like balanced. You know, you don't get home with a weird like crick in your neck or anything. But the problem is like backpacks like do a lot of touching of your skin, and if it's hot or it's the winter and you're wearing a coat, which is basically all of, you know, the whole year. That's the whole year. You get to the place you're going to and you're like, everywhere the backpack is touching you, you're sweaty, which is uncomfortable. And I've been thinking about what to do for that. Maybe I should get a briefcase. I can be a real businessman. I'll just put my MacBook into a briefcase and like hold it by the handle.
Well, that's all because literally, like, maybe I'm spoiled. I walk from my house to my car and my car to my office. Like, I don't walk very far. So that's why I was like, I don't want to sling a backpack. I'm telling you, Colby, I'm going to make this suggestion, but I want to make clear it's not a joke. You're going to think it's a joke. It's not a joke. I'm being very serious. You should get one of the ones that has wheels and a very long handle like a suitcase. Now, again, you're thinking I'm joking. You're saying, Shaun, that would look stupid. But think about it. Ergonomically, you just wheel it behind you.
No, you're right. You're right.
Virtually no skin contact.
The problem... So, I think I like the idea. I like just ruthless ergonomics. I super like that. The problem I have is with wheelie bags... I feel like a wheelie bag should be like an all-terrain vehicle. Like, I feel like you should be able to smash it into the curb over and over and over every day forever, and it should continue to work. And there are bags that'll do that, like my roller bag for planes. Honestly, I don't really like it that much, but unfortunately it is so sturdy that it has stood up to me doing this to it for the last like 8 years, and it's still functioning, which is annoying, but great. But the problem I think is if I did that with a bag which contained my laptop, I'm not sure my laptop would be up for
a bunch of people kicking it and it bouncing around on the sidewalk and going off of curbs. Right. Very fair.
There are lots of, like in Boston too, we're talking like brick sidewalks that, like, I'm sure they were smooth the day after they put them in, but since then have been like
a lot of horses have walked on them since.
Yeah, right. And the trees are growing up through them, and like, you're gonna go over some bumps. So I'll think about it though. I like the idea.
You never know.
There are so many bags and bag formats in the world, and I've only tried like 3 of them.
I'm not joking. To find one bag I like, I ordered a lot and returned a lot of bags. So I feel for you. It's a tough challenge.
Yep.
For us modern men. Well, boy, this has been a real treat. What a wonderful time. Maybe Dan will be back next week. We hope he is. He'll have some good travel stories. Certainly, he's been working his way around.
Are we gonna finish out the trial?
Yeah, we got series. 2, 3, 4 more episodes on it. Like, we're getting there. We're getting close.
Oh yeah.
God forbid it ever ends. But listen, if you haven't been listening to those episodes, you should go back, check out the archives. Don'tPanic.io is our website. The audio and the video, the shows are there. In addition to the links to the picks, I'll include a link to that recipe as well as my bag. And of course, subscribe wherever you get podcasts. The video version's on YouTube in crisp 1080p. And of course, the audio available wherever you get podcasts. Just search for Don't Panic. And email us. Don'tPanicShow@gmail.com is our email address. It was very funny, Colby. I don't know if this happened to you. Google every once in a while updates their terms of service and emails it to all their Gmail accounts. I forgot how many Gmail accounts I own until they just said... Because it was literally these accounts where I'm like... I made that like once for one thing, and somehow I still, like, they know it's me. And so, I won't even list all of them, but there were some I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I owned that. So I also own don'tpanicshow@gmail.com. So it does work. You can email us there.
Amazing.
But we're going to wrap it up here. So on behalf of Colby and Shaun, we appreciate you spending time with us. We're going to see you next time on another great episode of Don't Panic.